My beloved child, in times of uncertainty, I remain the one who never changes. When the world around you trembles and what once seemed solid crumbles like sand before the wind, I am still there, steadfast and faithful. You may see a fragment of the past falling away, an old dream buried, or a door you once thought secure suddenly closing. Yet it is precisely in those moments that I am at work, mending what has been broken and bringing comfort to the weary soul. You may think everything has been swallowed by darkness, but deep within I am kindling a small flame, and from that light hope will slowly grow. I will go before you and will level the uneven places. I will break down gates of bronze and cut through bars of iron. Isaiah 4:5-2. It is I who open a way you never imagined could exist, so that in the midst of confusion you may recognize my steady hand guiding you. Imagine yourself standing in the midst of a dense, dark forest. The old path has disappeared, and all around you is only the sound of the wind and the covering of night. You do not know where you are heading, and then you hear unfamiliar footsteps just ahead showing you the way. This is not a coincidence. It is the trail I have left for you. I do not always reveal the entire road, for if you could see it all from the beginning, you would rely on your own understanding and forget that I alone am the one who leads. But when you are shown only one small step at a time, you are compelled to hold my hand, and in that process your faith is strengthened. I do not send you off alone on a new road. I go ahead of you like a forerunner, clearing away obstacles and keeping your feet from stumbling. Every sharp stone underfoot, every hidden chasm along the way, I know them all and have prepared an escape for you. Even when you feel as though you are groping in the dark, trust that my light is still shining, a light that never goes out. In the moments when you tremble before the future, I am not a distant spectator. I am present like a father, bending down beside you, placing his hand on your shoulder and saying, "Do not be afraid, I am here." That word is not merely a sound, but a power flowing into your spirit, turning anxiety into peace, replacing panic with stillness. Let your heart rest in this truth: you are never alone. The steps you are taking are not leading to a dead end, but toward a plan filled with meaning. You may not see the full picture now, but I am painting a greater canvas in which every small detail is set in its rightful place. If you pause and look back, you will see the times I have sustained you and carried you through trials you thought you could never endure. Those moments were not accidents. They are evidence that my hand is still shaping a journey far beyond your understanding. My child, do not let the cries of fear make you forget that I am the Almighty. When you hear the voice within saying, "There is no way out," remember that I am the one who specializes in making a way through the sea and forging a path in the wilderness. I led my people through the Red Sea. I will also lead you through the current that seems determined to drown your soul. You may see the wall before you as impenetrable, but to me, there is no gate too strong to be torn down. When you place your trust in me, I turn obstacles into steps that lift you higher. Every challenge is an invitation for you to see more clearly the power at work in your life. I know how often you feel weighed down by anxiety, by responsibilities, by questions without answers. But pause and listen. I do not ask you to carry everything. On the contrary, I invite you to lay it down so that I may bear it. As long as you cling tightly to worry, your heart cannot receive the peace I give. But if you choose to release it and let the burden fall at the foot of the cross, you will find a new strength rising within you. This strength does not come from your own resolve, but from heavenly support. I do not leave you wandering aimlessly through trials. I use the very trials to refine, to shape, to open a new chapter for you where your faith becomes steadfast like gold purified by fire. Therefore trust even when the path is not yet clear. Keep moving forward, for I am quietly crafting a road full of meaning for you and for those you love. This path does not only lead you to a safe destination, but engraves within you a deeper relationship with me. It is a journey where every step is covered by love and protection. When you look up and see only clouds, remember that behind the clouds the sun still shines, and I am that light. No matter how fierce the storms may be, I am right here beside you and will never leave. Place your heart firmly in this truth so that you may stand secure, no longer afraid, but strong as you walk the road I have prepared. My beloved child, I invite you to lay down the burdens that weigh so heavily upon your mind. Anxiety is like a rushing river, always sweeping you far from peace. It exhausts you, blurs your vision, and makes you believe that you must carry everything on your own. But I never called you to bear it all. I invite you to set down your fears, to hand over what you cannot control to me, and to walk lightly with a steadfast trust that you are protected. When you choose to trust, darkness loses its power to rule. When you dare to let go, my wings will cover you from the arrows that fly by night. What I desire is not a hardened heart that is always bracing itself, but a humble soul that knows how to surrender. Only when you dare to loosen your grip can you feel my hand holding yours. I want you to understand that. My protection is not a vague idea, but a living reality. Every day you awaken, I surround you with an invisible hedge of keeping. When you go out, I appoint angels to guard your steps. When you return, I fill your home with safety. Yet more precious than all of this is my personal presence, where you can hear me whisper in your heart, "Do not be afraid, I am still here." This relationship makes all the difference, not merely knowing of a distant God, but walking with the one who is always near. I want you to experience unconditional love, a love that does not depend on your success or failure, a love that does not change whether you rejoice or grieve. That love becomes an underground stream, nourishing you from within, making you one who can stand firm even when everything around you shakes. My child, the life I promise is not mere existence. It is a rich life, not rich as the world defines it, but an abundance of the soul where you feel a deep joy that rises above circumstances. Your happiness no longer depends on passing changes, but rests upon a steadfast relationship with me. When you know you are loved, you are no longer bound by the need for human approval. When you know you are sheltered, you no longer tremble at life's threats. When you realize you are prepared for a great plan, you can walk with confidence, not because you are strong enough, but because my strength is at work in you. This life is an expansive journey where each day carries an opportunity to experience new grace and discover the depths of the love I have prepared. In the storms of life, your hope is often tested. Waves and winds make you question whether you can stand. But I have given you a foundation that cannot be shaken. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure, Hebrews 6:1-9. Picture a small boat on a vast sea, waves rolling and fierce winds, seeming to threaten its sinking, yet the anchor holds it fast to the rock below. The boat may sway, but it cannot be swept away. Hope in me is like that. It does not stop the storm from coming, but it keeps your soul from drifting. When you cling to that anchor, you will learn steadfastness. You will learn how to keep your peace, even as life rocks and heaves. This hope does not rest on an immediate bright outcome, but on the promise of the one who never changes. My child, let hope become your new source of strength. Each morning as you open your eyes, let your first thought not be the unresolved cares, but the reminder that you are still wrapped in steadfast love. As you step out the door, let your trust in my covering lift your head high. When criticism rings out, remember your worth is not in the words of others, but in the gaze with which I look upon you. When darkness tries to press in light, the flame of hope like a small lamp burning steadily through the night. You are not destined to sink in fear, but to walk in freedom. This freedom does not come from circumstances changing at once, but from knowing you are never alone. I am there holding you, lifting you, and guiding you forward. So release your anxiety and move ahead with confidence. Not confidence born of your own ego, but of the awareness that you are enveloped in eternal love. You can dare to dream, dare to live, dare to step out because you know the hand of protection will never leave your life. Look ahead not with fearful eyes, but with a heart brimming with hope, for a rich future awaits. And when you feel weary, stop, take a deep breath, and remember that the anchor of hope is holding your soul fast. It will never let you drift away from my love. You need only to take hold and walk on. My beloved child, I want you to grasp an unshakable truth. My commitment to you is everlasting. Even when you are weak, when you fall, when you doubt, my presence, my love does not change. Many times along the way you may feel abandoned, as though your prayers rise only to the ceiling and fall back down. But my child, listen closely. I have never left you, and I never will. My commitment is not like the fleeting relationships of people who can promise today and forget tomorrow. It is not like the temporary loyalty of friends who may withdraw when you no longer benefit them. My love is carved into the very essence of who I am. I am the faithful one, and I cannot deny myself. My child, there were times when you went far away, when you chose a different path, even deliberately turning your back on me. You thought that if you refused, I would abandon you. If you drove me away, I would leave. But remember, I am not like people. You may wish for my silence, yet I patiently wait. You may plead for me to let go, yet I am still there with open arms. I do not force, but neither do I ever disappear. I do not hold you with chains, but with unconditional love. A love persistent enough to stand at the door of your heart, knocking softly, waiting for the day you open. It is this steadfastness that makes the bond between us unique. It is not governed by your passing moods, nor dependent on your actions, but founded on my unchanging nature. Reflect on this. People often build their presence through outward forms. They appear through words, gestures, and sometimes only by wearing masks. But my presence is not form, it is substance. I do not merely seem near. I am truly there in every breath you take, in every moment you sit alone, in every tear that falls silently. My presence surpasses appearances and reaches the depths of the soul. It is like the wind you cannot see, but always feel like the heartbeat in your chest. No one notices but sustains your life. When you pause in stillness, you will realize that this presence has never left. You may ask, why am I so persistent? The simple answer is that you belong to me. I formed you with loving hands, breathed life into you, and engraved your name upon the palms of my hands. You cannot erase that imprint, nor can you make me change my mind about loving you. I see not only what you do today, but also who you are destined to become. I know your limitations, but I also know the great potential hidden within your soul, and I have chosen not to abandon the work I have begun. As the scripture says, he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6. I do not start a journey only to stop halfway, nor plant a seed only to let it wither. I will nourish, tend, and patiently wait for the day that seed blooms and bears fruit. Therefore, my child, do not fear that your weakness will discourage me. Do not think that passing doubts will make me withdraw. Do not worry that mistakes from your past could cause me to retract my promises. My love and my commitment are not based on your merit, but on my own steadfast character. All I desire from you is a heart willing to return, to open, and to receive. When you hesitate, I still wait. When you walk slowly, I still go with you. When you stumble, I will extend my hand to lift you up. I never grow weary of reminding you that you are loved. Whether you realize it or not, a part of you already knows this truth. And when you allow yourself to accept it, you will feel comfort flow like cool water into a parched desert. My beloved child, this is the foundation of our relationship. My commitment is eternal, and nothing can sever it. People may withdraw, the promises of the world may fade, but my word never passes away. You may feel lonely, but the truth is you have never truly been alone. Even when you stray, I walk with you. Even when you turn away, my eyes still follow you. This is what sets me apart from all others. I do not love because you are worthy. I love because I am love itself. And that very love is the guarantee that you will never be abandoned. I invite you to trust me with a pure heart, without calculation, without letting doubt take over. You may have been through many trials, suffered wounds that made your heart guarded and cautious, but I want you to know, with me you need no walls. With me you can relax, for this love never betrays. Such simple trust does not make you weak. On the contrary, it is the strength that steadies your steps. The more you complicate faith, the more easily you are shaken. But when you keep the heart of a child, you will find true rest. I shelter you within my vast embrace, and this protection is not for you alone. When you trust me, that blessing extends to those you love. Your family, whether near or far, is placed within the reach of this love and protection. Like ripples spreading from a stone cast into a pond, your faith in me touches not only you but also your parents, siblings, children, friends, and the community around you. Every prayer you lift on their behalf becomes an invisible shield over their lives. You may not always be present, but I am always there. When you kneel to intercede, my angels are sent forth building unseen walls to guard them from harm. And when you keep your faith in hardship, that very steadfastness becomes a source of encouragement for the weak around you. My protective embrace is not confined to a single life, but stretches to encompass a generation. Do not underestimate your silent prayers, for they weave a lasting shelter over your family and your community. My child, remember this. A simple faith does not only transform your own life, but it also opens the door of blessing for many others. When you choose to believe, I will make you a channel through which my love and protection flow like cool, refreshing water, soothing the thirsty souls around you. And when the storms arise, my arms will not shelter you alone, but will also embrace those for whom you intercede. This is the great truth I want you to hold fast. Childlike trust not only saves you, but becomes a place of refuge for those you love. Therefore, keep placing your whole trust in me, and you will see wonders spread far beyond your own reach. My beloved, the journey on which I lead you is not a path of keeping things as they are, but a journey of complete renewal that begins from within. You have carried the burdens of the past for too long, sorrowful memories, mistakes that brought you shame, and the judgments of others that you allowed to become a voice inside your own mind. All of these are like invisible cords binding you, making your steps heavy, and sometimes you have believed you could never be free. But today I speak to you, no chain is stronger than my power, and no wound is too deep for my grace to touch. I have come to break those unseen cords, to release your soul from every weight, and to give you a new beginning. Remember that this renewal does not begin with your own effort to start over, but with your willingness to surrender and entrust it all to me. You've tried to bury your mistakes by working harder or telling yourself to be stronger. Yet these efforts have only left you more exhausted. You do not need to save yourself. That is precisely why I came. I have not come merely to wipe away your tears, but to place new wings into your hands. When you give me your past, I do not hold it against you for judgment. I cast it into the sea of forgetfulness, where no trace of sin or shame remains. Like the ocean waves erasing footprints from the sand, my grace washes away every stain you thought could never be removed. I say to you, behold, the old has passed away. See, everything has become new. 2 Corinthians 5:17. My child, this liberation does not end with the breaking of captivity. It opens a new life, overflowing with freedom. I do not want you to walk with your head bowed in guilt, or to shuffle through life weighed down by sadness. I have prepared for you a light spirit, a heart that knows how to love, and a mind renewed. When you dare to lay your burdens down, you will feel fresh air rush in like a door swinging open after years of being shut. I want you not only forgiven, but transformed, not merely to have the old erased, but to have in its place a new self, strong, steady, and radiant with hope. Do not be afraid to enter this process, for I will walk with you at every step, healing every wound, mending every fracture, and carving into you a new identity, the identity of one who is loved, chosen, and set free. My dear one, this is the true beginning of renewal, when you lift your eyes from the past and let me place a radiant future in your hands. Every wound, every weight, every old memory becomes the starting point for you to see the depth of my healing power. You are no longer defined by what has been, but by the love I am giving you now. And as you step into this freedom, you will discover that even in the things that once caused you pain, I planted a seed of wisdom, so that today, from the ashes, new life springs forth. Receive this renewal as a gift, and let me lead you into the journey of deliverance, a journey where the shadows of the past no longer imprison you, but where freedom, peace, and new life abound. My beloved child, I want you to pause and reflect on this truth. You have never had to walk alone on unfamiliar roads. Before you ever set out, I have gone ahead preparing, arranging, and clearing obstacles your eyes cannot yet see. You often think you are groping in the dark, but in reality you are walking on a path long illuminated by my all-seeing gaze. The turns that seem unexpected to you are not unknown to me. I know where you might stumble, where the terrain could drain your strength, and I have scattered along your way resting places where you can catch your breath. That is why, my child, faith is not a blind leap, but a confident response to a perfect plan already set in place. Remember when my people stood before the Red Sea, the enemy behind them, and the waters before them. They thought the path had closed, but I opened a way right where there seemed to be none. The waters stood upright, dry ground appeared, and my people crossed as on firm land. That image is not just an ancient story, but my assurance to you today: I am still the one who makes a way. When you see doors close, I can create a path straight through the wall in front of you. When you think you cannot take another step, I am the strength that carries you forward. This strength does not come from your own effort, but from my unchanging presence. I am not only the one who leads the way, but also the very feet that carry you farther than you could go on your own. My child, understand this: when I go before you, it does not mean you will be spared from all hardship. The trials remain, but I turn them into places of training. The mountains still block the way, but I place in your hands the tools to climb. The storms still arise, but I teach you how to stand firm in the winds. I do not erase every obstacle, for it is through them that my strength is revealed in your weakness. When you tremble, I become your support. When you grow weary, I am your source of energy. When you lose direction, I am the compass that points the way. What matters is not that you understand every detail, but that you know with certainty there is one who has gone before you, laying each stone in place for your steps. My beloved child, my preparation is not only around you, but also within you. In the seasons that seem meaningless, I am building patience in you. In the days when you feel slowed down, I am forging endurance within your soul. When you walk through failures, I am engraving lessons of humility and dependence deep into your heart. Nothing I allow is ever wasted. They are all part of the design to shape you into one who can finish the appointed path. So lift up your head and do not fear. Believe that with every step you take, I have already gone ahead, and for every burden you carry, I have prepared strength sufficient for you. I myself am the inexhaustible source, the sustaining arm, the unshakable fortress. Walk forward, for you do not merely have a path, you have a forerunner and companion who makes strength arise in every stride you take. My precious child, since I have gone before you to open the way and prepare what I long for you to do, is to walk fully in the sacred purpose. Purpose is not an abstract idea to admire, but a way of life that must be cultivated day by day, so that you may not only recognize it, but live it out in my plan. You must learn practical principles like tools that help you keep balance along the journey. I have not sent you empty-handed, but I desire you to know how to use what has been entrusted to you, so that each day becomes a step closer to fulfillment. First, my child, learn to manage your time. Time is a precious gift, but also a test for people easily let it slip away on trivial things. I do not ask you to live in haste or to exhaust yourself chasing after the rush of life, but I want you to arrange your days so that what is eternal is placed first. When you give the beginning of your day to me, you will notice the whole day shaped differently. When you wisely portion your hours to nurture your family, develop yourself, and serve others, you will walk in harmony with purpose. Do not let time be consumed by worry or wasted on what bears no fruit. Instead, sow every moment into seeds that yield lasting life. Second, be discerning about the influences around you. The world is filled with voices, some encourage, yet others sow doubt and negativity. I do not want you to be swayed by every gust of opinion, but to stand firm in truth. You must learn to choose faithful companions, those who lift you up rather than pull you down. A timely word can heal, yet words that discourage can weigh the soul heavily. Therefore, my child, keep your ears and heart sensitive to know which sounds come from me and which noise must be silenced. When you choose the right influences, you will be surrounded by support, and that will anchor your steps securely in purpose. Third, nourish prayer as the breath of your soul. Prayer is not a distant ritual, but the daily rhythm that keeps you in step with me. Every word you speak, whether small or great, reaches my ears. As you remain constant in prayer, you will not only find comfort, but also receive guidance to make wise decisions. Prayer helps you see what to keep, what to release, and what to wait for. It guards your heart with purity and your mind with peace, so that even in shifting circumstances you can still recognize my voice. Prayer is not confined to a few minutes in the morning or evening, but is a continual dialogue where you open your heart and I respond. Finally, my child, cultivate a spirit of gratitude. Gratitude not only quiets complaint, but also opens your eyes to the blessings already surrounding you. When you learn to give thanks in every situation, you will realize that strength to keep walking does not come from everything being perfect, but from knowing my hand is still at work. Gratitude turns each day into opportunity, transforms trials into lessons, and makes the smallest things into great joys. The more you nurture thankfulness, the fresher your soul will remain, and this very posture will become a living testimony to the world. My beloved child, when you bring together these four principles, wise stewardship of time, careful discernment of influences, steadfast devotion to prayer, and the continual cultivation of gratitude, you will not only understand your divine purpose, but also live fully within it. This is not theory, but a living rhythm where every step you take bears my imprint, and every day becomes part of the great tapestry I have already designed for your life. My beloved child, I want you to understand that hope is not a fragile notion or a fleeting emotion, but a living current of energy that I have placed deep within your soul. Heavenly hope is unlike the hope of the world. It does not rest on chance, and it does not vanish when circumstances change. This hope is a flame kindled by my own promises, a flame that cannot be extinguished by storms. When you are weary and feel you have no strength left to move forward, that hope becomes a stream of fresh water, reviving the dry places within you. It gives you reason to rise, to keep going, even when your eyes cannot yet see the way out. My child, you have known the days when darkness covered you, when every door seemed shut, when broken dreams left gaps that felt impossible to fill. In those moments, worldly hope often fades away because it is tied to outcomes, circumstances, and what the eyes can see. But hope that comes from me is different. It is rooted in my very nature, the one who is faithful and never changes. Like a seed quietly growing beneath the soil, heavenly hope develops even when you are unaware. And then, at the appointed time, it rises, breaking through the hardened ground so that you can witness new life beginning. This is a hope that cannot perish, for it is bound to me, the source of life itself. You may ask, how does such hope help when trials still remain? My child, heavenly hope does not make the storm disappear, but it keeps you standing firm within it. It does not erase hardship at once, but it grants you the endurance to walk through it. Like an anchor holding a ship steady amid raging waves, hope keeps your soul from drifting away. When you remember that I am still at work, you will find courage not to give up. When you know that I have already appointed a good end, you will have a reason to continue, even while the present seems uncertain. This hope becomes the living energy that enables you not only to endure, but to grow through the trial. My child, hope is not given merely so you can hold on. It is given so you may discover wonders even within hardship. As you hold fast to hope, your eyes will open to blessings hidden inside adversity. You will learn that suffering is not meaningless, but the place where I weave enduring values. You will see that loss is not the end, but an opening to receive something deeper. Heavenly hope teaches you that every tear can become a drop of rain that nurtures blossoms, and every wound can become a testimony of healing. Through it, you will no longer fear stepping into difficult places because you know they contain the seeds of renewal. Let hope become the heartbeat within you, the strength urging every step forward. When you are drained, whisper a prayer, and hope will rise again like a flame fed with fresh oil. When the storm feels fierce, close your eyes and remember that you have an anchor unshakable holding you from being swept away. When you are tempted to quit, listen for my whisper. Keep going, for the future is still wide open. My child, this hope is living energy, heavenly strength, and as you allow it to work within you, you will see that you can overcome any challenge. My beloved child, I want you to lift your head and look beyond what is before you. The future I have prepared is not a narrow, dark path, but a wide, sunlit field filled with opportunity. You once thought life was only a string of days to survive, But now I invite you into a new chapter where you will not merely exist but truly live. This new chapter does not begin with your perfection but with my eternal promise. It opens from your decision today to trust, to step forward, to place your hope in the one who has gone before you and walks beside you now. In this new chapter, I do not give you safety alone. I give you a calling. You were not created to quietly exist, but to be a light shining in a dim world. You will become living proof that my love can transform a life once bowed down into a life overflowing with vitality. Every wound you have borne, every tear you have shed will become seed for a new harvest, a harvest of encouragement, of faith, and of renewal. As you open your heart to receive, I will shape you into an instrument of hope for those who are lost. My child, look back on the road you have traveled. The slow steps, the stumbles, the tears that once seemed meaningless, none of these have been wasted. They have shaped you so that you are strong enough to receive what is coming. I have skillfully turned each fragment into a larger tapestry, and now as you step into a new chapter, the full picture will begin to unfold. It is a canvas, rich with hope, love, and steadfastness. You are no longer bound by the past, nor do you need to strain yourself for the future. You need only walk forward in the assurance that I am holding your hand. This new chapter is also a call for you to be braver. I do not promise that the road will always be easy, but I promise that you will never be alone. When storms arise, I will be your shelter. When you lack strength, I will be your source of energy. When you are weary, I will be your place of rest. All you need to do is keep moving forward, for it is in that very movement that doors you never dreamed of will open. I am calling you not merely to dream of tomorrow, but to begin living in the promise today. My child, receive this invitation with your whole heart. Do not hesitate, do not turn back, do not doubt. This is the appointed time for you to step out of your comfort zone and into new territory. I have prepared a wide-open future, not so that you might settle for small wishes, but so that you may experience a richness far beyond anything you have ever imagined. Walk with eyes bright, with hope, with a heart full of trust, and with a spirit ready for what has never been known before. I am here, today, tomorrow, and forever, to walk with you. The future is ready and the new chapter is opening. Are you ready to step into it with me? Thank you for listening to this message. Know that you are not merely an observer. You are chosen to live daily in the presence of God's Word. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss any divine message. Amen.